Welcome to our latest webinar, ConnectX 2019, on steel and milling industries CS scenarios. Compared with other industries, digitalization in the steel and metal industries is still lagging behind. The first mover will gain a clear competitive advantage. Understanding demand and streamlining existing business is key in steel and milling. Your hosts today are myself, Dr. Falk Brauer, SVP Global Center of Excellence at InMindCloud as industry expert, and Chakra Henda, VP Customer Success with a huge background in manufacturing and Industry 4.0 implementations. Before we go into details, let me quickly introduce our company. We are InMindCloud, specialized on sales automation for manufacturing industries. Manufacturing sales is simply different, driven by constantly changing customer demands and shop floor engineering requirements. Changing customer and market demands can have a devastating effect on the top and bottom line of your company. Our software offering, Manufacturing Experience, MX, bridges the gap between sales and operation systems, so our customers can transform into an end-to-end connected agile enterprise. We are a real cloud provider available via SAP App Center or Microsoft App Source. To streamline sales processes, we deeply integrate with backend systems like SAP ERP and leverage third-party capabilities from Autodesk Forge or Google Maps for special sales scenarios. We have offices in Europe, Asia, and North America. Likewise, we have a global partner network. In our monthly webinar, we analyze challenges and trends in different manufacturing verticals and share learnings derived together with our customers. Here we see how we classify the verticals based on their requirements, processes, and go-to-market approach. In our last webinar, we already discussed machinery and plastic products. Today's focus is on steel and milling. Let me hand over to Chakra to learn more about the challenges and strategies of the steel and milling industry in the area of Industry 4.0.
Thank you, Falk, for the introduction. Let's look at the challenges that the manufacturing industries have been facing. Spending the last 2 decades in various manufacturing industries, I noticed that the challenges are evolving. So what are those in this era of digitalization, where information becoming a commodity? First of all, the demand and supply can change rapidly without prior notice. This generates volatility in the market. Customers' expectation on lead time and deliveries has also contributed to this. Next one is on the cost management. Manufacturing in general is a low-margin industry. So to improve the profitability, there is always a pressure to keep the cost down. This can be in the form of a labor, overhead, or material cost. Global competition is another challenge, where the manufacturing face tremendous competition from their peers or from the upstreams and downstream of the industry. So what are the differentiators for the manufacturing company against their competitors? Production capability is one, business agility and speed, better cost structure which lead to better price to the customers. Manufacturing and delivery lead time is also an important differentiator, along with the fresh innovation to the product. Understanding those challenges and differentiators can lead to a better profitability and improve the EBITDA for the manufacturing companies. For today's discussion, we'll focus on how to achieve a better profitability, specific to metal industry. Steel and metal industry has been the most volatile compared to other manufacturing. Over the past 10 years, global crude steel production has significantly increased, led by China, who contributed around 50% of global steel manufacturing output. At this stage, it is expected that there will be an oversupply of crude steel of 375 metric tons per year at global level. With that in mind, let's look at the situation for steel and metal industries. Within this industry vertical, there will always be large amounts of product units or SKU. This is due to diverse customer base with different and specific requirements. For example, aerospace industry will have different quality requirements compared to automotive or construction. There is also complicated distribution channels or logistics supply chains with different margin implications that need to be considered. Steel and metal related manufacturing are no longer able to overcome those challenges using the traditional operational improvement methods. They have limited insights on how to improve the profit margin, service levels, or working capital. Assets utilization are often in focus, even though this may have negative impact to profitability. And with little access to real-time information on demand, companies perpetually act defensively. So what can steel and metal manufacturing do, considering that the traditional operational improvement is already at their limit? Digitalization of sales processes will be one of the key factors to improve the profitability. This enables the manufacturers to have more accurate demand forecasts based on detailed understanding of customer needs, making the manufacturers to be more agile in streamlining their businesses as well as opening new markets. With better demand forecasts, the manufacturers can also focus on the customer journey. This will help in reducing their inventory and improve margins while delivering a better services. Breaking down the demand into component drivers will enable the manufacturers to have different strategy for those independent forecast components. With sales digitalization, 30% improvement in forecast accuracy is expected. This would enable the steel companies to focus on what matters to them. Improvement over ROI or return of investments are also expected, triggered by better customer interactions. 2 to 4% improvement in beta and inventory reduction of 10 days are achievable for those manufacturers who transform their business by digitalization of their sales processes. With that, let me pass this back to Falk, who will share how our solution help metal and steel manufacturers going through their digital transformation journey.
Thanks, Chakra. Let's dive one level deeper. What are the bits and pieces that drive sales digitalization? What do you need to achieve a better insight into market demands, build an agile enterprise, and connect your front-end and back-end processes? Let's start from the back-end, your core manufacturing systems like ERP, PLM, and MAS. And at one of the most common data sources, which is Excel. Let's add 2 layers. One, the foundation that makes sure that those systems are connected to your sales, and the other one consisting of different application modules to run your processes. The foundation needs to be flexible to ensure data accuracy across all your channels. But what are the apps that you need to run a digital manufacturing sales? To interact with your customers directly and drive top-line revenue by turning down barriers, you need a customer portal. This not only lowers your efforts in sales operations, but helps the customer to understand your offering, prices, delivery times, which are in line with your back-end systems. A clear competitive advantage. Next, of course, opening your digital sales infrastructure is often a second step. Often the enablement of your sales employees is the first and most crucial step. It should not require a PhD to find the right product with the right price that is in line with your backend systems, right? Sales simplification is the key to achieve that. If you're running a high volume business with slim margins, sales optimization makes sure you focus on the best opportunities. With sales management, you can understand demand signals from the market and understand pipeline gaps that might hit your top or bottom line. Engineering sales come in when your customers have non-standard requests. Capturing engineering knowledge within the system makes sure you can take fast decisions without compromising on quality. For certain use cases, for instance applications related to construction, additional features from CAD or topography are required to understand the whole requirements. So let's add them in. Last, if you already have a CRM or commerce system running, which would benefit from a sales-centric direct integration into your backend, you can consume Manufacturing X right in there. With this, you can make sure that you have a real digital sales infrastructure that allows to leverage backend information where you need it. Traditionally, you have a couple of islands such as CRM, ERP, commerce, PLM and so on that operate within isolation. Let's jump a level higher and look into different business models. In steel and milling, you sell into diverse industries with varying service and quality requirements. The engagement mode and quality requirements between automotive, energy, chemicals and construction are, for instance, very different. While in construction you want to run a low-touch, almost self-service engagement mode and you sell usually heterogeneous products in smaller quantities in a make-to-stock fashion, as shown on the right here. In automotive, the engagement is usually high-touch and the needs are very specialized. More engineer-to-order approach for mass production. Rather small variety, but a huge order volume characterizes this industry. In the middle are project or tender-based engagements, where one-off order with a high volume and higher variety of products, often augmented with value-added services, is sold. All those different business models have a common core, but differ in the process and challenges. For standardized products, pipeline management and speed and quote turnaround times is key. For project kind of engagement models, collaboration and built-in engineering knowledge is essential. For specialized products, such as in automotive, costing and collaboration to determine the feasibility are key. All those different requirements need to be catered for in a digital sales platform. Let's look into a real-world example of a steel tube manufacturer. To compete in the current market condition, he was looking for a solution to overcome heterogeneous quoting and pricing practices and get deep insights into market demands and conversions. With Manufacturing X, he transformed from a manufacturing costing-driven sales approach to a modern market price-oriented sales model, still with a tight control on margins. Almost all engagement models could be digitalized to achieve all those benefits listed on the right. The major challenge here was to combine the existing sophisticated manufacturing logic in ERP with a modern sales model, ensuring swift turnaround times. The manufacturing program here on the right was in this case a very sophisticated and highly customized product model in ERP that basically allows, with more than 300 characteristics, to compute the exact manufacturing plan and BOM for any possible, even highly specialized customer requests. However, for the day-to-day sales, only 30 of them are relevant. Together with InMind this customer implemented a lightweight sales product model, which is able to control the manufacturing model in the backend, ensuring high speed in sales and avoiding backend process changes. For special requests, the manufacturing model is still in place. The sales model also serves as a starting point to revamp the manufacturing model in the coming years. This hybrid approach ensures instant time to value for each step on the way. Together with the support for different business and engagement models, Manufacturing X now serves all departments of this customer and caters for their special needs in their customer engagement process. Commodity and specialized applications are served from one system. The sales model is easy to use and maps to the manufacturing model that in turn is used for production planning and execution in ERP. The overall make-to-order process that we implemented for this specific use case is shown here. This chart shows the whole process map with the respective roles. Upon selecting a product, the sales model is used. With this, it is known whether there is a standard product and price, fulfilling the customer need. If not, the manufacturing model can be used, which in turn can be used to create a new standard variant or price. For certain cases, a feasibility check is needed, which requires collaboration between different departments. This all can be done on one system. Under certain conditions, including total volumes, discounts, and feasibility and approval might be required. In any case, for each quotation created in the easy-to-use cloud system, a shadow quote in ERP is created using the manufacturing model. This is essential for tracking and comparing profitability. Once the customer orders, the document flow of the quote will be completed with an order. A comparison of the calculated profitability between quote and order time is possible. This is crucial in fragile times like ours. Thanks to standard variants, which are produced to stock, an order might be fulfilled right away. This is a huge competitive advantage with respect to order lead times. Who wants to wait for its delivery? In case the product is not a standard variant or not on stock, a manufacture-to-order process will be triggered. Finally, the production order and fulfillment is executed, without any break in the digital path. This is a real end-to-end digital-enabled sales process. Every piece of data along the process is auditable and can be analyzed to understand changing demands, market conditions, and internal optimization potential. Alright, let's see how this looks like in real life and show you a demo of the system. As mentioned before, Manufacturing X can be used with external CRMs, can also integrate with other commerce systems, also brings its own portal, but today we will only look into the direct sales scenario, sales management, and sales simplification, which uses our internal CRM features, which we will showcase now. When you enter the system, you will see a dashboard of your favorites, your quick access bar, open tasks, and the latest opportunities and quotations. So you have all your work items at your fingertips. There's also a dashboarding capability to understand the volume per quarter, the quote volume, and in which phase which opportunity is, with chance of success and last update. So this can be customized as needed. Next you have account management integrated, which replicates customer records and partner functions from ERP, for instance, or CRM. So you have your favorites, your account list, your contacts. In opportunities, you can see opportunities, leads, and your pipeline. So let me go into one of these items. So here I have an opportunity for upgrading a power plant in Berlin. I moved this to commit because the customer just called me. I can jump in and evaluate the information that is there. The start date of this project is October. And when I look into the document flow, I see that I didn't provide a quote yet, so it's about time to do that. So I simply create a new quote. I choose a type, so this is quotation, not yet in order, but it's very close to it. And I can jump inside. So first of all, I see on the quote overview page a lot of relevant information for me, such as the pricing and all the dates that are important. So I set the expected closure date to end of September. I have notes where I can take notes on customer communication and so on. I can also manage attachments, and I can see all the partner functions that are important so that I don't ship the product to the wrong place. So let's start adding in products. All right, let's add our steel tube. I know the customer is reworking the plan, so he needs 1,000 meters of one item. So I see also the base price here and the total price, of course. Let me remove a few columns so that it's easier to see. So we don't have optional items here. We don't want to change the unit of measure, which is meters here, and we don't want to quote in different currencies. So that looks much nicer. And now we can jump into the specification of the product. So first of all, I can choose the product group. So this is now really a very straightforward sales configuration, as I mentioned earlier. I can choose the standard, the steel grade. I can choose the delivery condition, which is +N. Surface, I want to have it phosphated. There's no additional information needed. And I see all the additional data is captured. And I can also hear some helper to determine the price. And now I can go to the geometry. I choose mass code, which is, let's say, 5040. And I can see it helps me also to determine the actual specification. I could also change additional things on the packaging and the certificate that the customer requires. So let me quickly show you that you can also copy line items, so that's easy as this. And add another configuration there. So I want to do this one from scratch. So I reset the whole specification of the product. I choose the product group. Here I have different standards, different steel grades also. Delivery condition is again +N. Surface doesn't need a definition in this case. Also add some additional information on the standard, and finally choose the geometry again by a mass code, like that. Now let's add also some discounts. Let's say I discount the first item by 20, and then I apply a mass update on the other ones and put a discount of, let's say, 40%. So you see here in this case, the system is set up to take from the percentage discount and compute the cash discount per item and the unit price per meter. I'm also lucky. I didn't hit the approval gate. In this case, this will kick in with a total value of 200,000. So I can quickly show that also to increase the quantity accordingly, and then I would need an approval. Right, I don't want to do that, so I go back to my 1,000 meters. Save the quotation, and of course, as a next step, I would like to send it to the customer and generate a proposal. So what I can do here is I can select different sections, in this example the cover page, the letter, product pictures and descriptions, and most important, terms and conditions. So you can download that. And you see a beautiful quotation with descriptions, price, and terms and conditions. Very important. All right, with this we are basically done. So I can send it to the customer after submitting it for approval, which is not needed. So you see it automatically turns into an approved state. And once I get feedback from the customer that it's accepted, I can very easily create a sales order right from here, which looks like this. So we have also the capability of order splitting. So if it's includes services or the like, it can be split into multiple orders. So I just click create, and with this it goes to order processing. So what is it worth? Investing into a digital customer journey pays huge dividends. On the bottom line, there are forecast accuracy, reduced number of order changes, almost no cost of error, and dramatically better order lead times. On the top line, a better customer service right from the start of an engagement can turn into 5% higher revenue, 15% more profit, and a 30% higher conversion rate. With this, we conclude our webinar. Please feel free to post questions or send us a direct email. We're happy to answer.